Capture item. New. Okay. Okay, looks like we are all alive. So, yeah, I just kind of noticed today, which what are we gonna be doing, is actually swapping over some switches that I actually had on the NK65. They are the Bad Seed Tactiles. They come factory pre-lubed, and these are the V1s. They aren't the V2s, which I don't know. I kind of want to buy the V2s just to see what it would sound like and feel like, because apparently the V1s have the extra long stem in them, where it would bottom out faster than they thought. And I thought that was an interesting intentional decision, but it doesn't seem like that is the case, unfortunately. Oh, where is the cat? Oh my god. Zexby! No! You guys see the cat in the background? Oh my god. Like, not in that spot. Zexby, no. 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 Not allowed. Not allowed in there. Okay, here. Go. There. Not up there. That is not good. Because if the cat is there, that is not a good thing, given that there are some things that can actually just fall down. So honestly, we're just going to, like, where was I? Yeah. I actually have to get the Bad Seed Tactiles out of here, and I'm thinking of using the speed copper switches. I'm pretty sure they're the copper switches, not the bronzes. So we'll see what how that goes, but we'll do a sound test first, of course, and see how the Bad Seed Tactiles sound like on the NK65 before actually going in and swapping them out. So let's start with those. Did I have it up? I don't have it up. I'm a fool! That's what I am. Okay. What? One, of course. Ta-da! Okay, monkey type. Looks like we're doing quotes first, by the looks of it. Alright. Let's see how this goes. I have my switch puller. I have... What is this? Oh. Okay. Alright. Anyone is getting too cold these days? Because it's really, really cold. I'm wearing a jacket and in other layers underneath too, and it's kind of getting crazy. At least up here in Canada, where it's always crazy cold. But you know, that's par for the course every year. It's not the worst thing, not the best thing. It just kind of is the thing, unfortunately. So you kind of have to deal with that. And the cat is going crazy all over the stuff of it. Alright. I just have to make sure that the cat, because currently there is a bunch of cooking outside where did you know that there are a lot of human edible ingredients that just cats are effectively allergic to, or it's considered poisonous to them? Ginger, garlic, onions. Onion is already mostly water. Like, how do they end up with an allergy towards onions? Not that it's an allergy, it's just that they have very specific minerals, I guess, that would actually end up causing havoc on their digestive system. Plus, as far as I'm aware, most cats do get their liquid not from drinking, but by food, which is kind of odd. You know, I don't understand how that happens. It just does. But, you know, it is what it is. Yeah. No, she's mewling to get out, unfortunately. But like I said, there is a lot of cooking that is going on as of current. So for now, she is actually trapped in here. Normally, she would walk in here of her own accord and sleep on that pillow or the other pillow or a pillow of some sort. And that is unfortunately not the case right now because she is pining to leave. Unfortunately. But we'll see. Okay, so first of all, let us double check. Oh my god, come on. Work? I mean, what? Okay. Why are you not working? Oh, of course, that's why it's not working. It's because it's not on. There we go. Okay, so let's do this. Oh, of course. Oh no. Zerxby! Try to be quiet. We're trying to do a sound test here. Come on. Okay. Cat will be quiet for a little while. Or maybe not. Cat? Cat. Oh my god. Cat! Let me get this wire temporarily stowed away. Because that is not a good thing for a cat. This is Periap cable wires. These are one of the nicer wires. And honestly, for what it is nice and sturdy. Oh my god. The cat just tried to jump on the bed. I think she did. We're sturdy ones. Okay. Alright. Let us do a sound test. Again, this is the NK65, slightly modded. We do have the mid plate, where the silicone section in between the plate itself and the PCB has been removed, so it doesn't have quite a solid sound as previously when it was stock. And these are the Bad Seed Tactiles on them. These are factory pre-lubed. Again, these are the V1. So let's give this a shot first and see how they sound without the cat mewling, hopefully. Oh my god. Oh my god. Out in there. Us. Right, so she was trying to get towards the how do I say it? The window. Right out of frame, unfortunately. But no, you're not allowed. There, yes. He normally doesn't like it when she steps on he. So I kind of, yeah, I know you're muling, but unfortunately you're not allowed to go out. Like I said, there is deadly food for you. It's edible. It's regular edible human food. However, of course, she's a cat. Therefore, the same food that is great for me and great for you is not great for the cat. But the cat is now stuck here. So, unfortunately, I kind of have to deal with her shenanigans. But cats, I guess, or pets in general, it's just one of those things where you're like, oh dear. Oh. But yeah, that was the sound test of, what was it called? The sound test of the NK65 with a little bit of mewling in the background. With a little bit of mewling in the background and some windows being moved aside, I guess. All right, so that is the quote from Pardon My Heart, and we're gonna watch the replay. I don't know why, but there are a lot of love quotes, unfortunately. And let's actually talk about it for a little bit first. All right, so the quote is from Pardon My Heart. It's a sad communication with little reason to believe when one isn't giving and one pretends to receive. So this is, I guess, a relationship where, that one part cares and the other one doesn't. Pardon my heart if I showed that I cared, but I love you more than the moments we have or have not shared. Okay, so looks like one pretends to receive. Is this more a daydream type of scenario where one believes one should be with some person instead of being with one person? Pardon my heart if I showed that I cared. Yeah, no, showing that you care is kind of hard, depending on how creepy you end up being, unfortunately. And some people are just straight up creepy. I don't know why, but they kind of are. I know a couple of people, and this is an old story where actually what happened was there was a horrible story. There was a couple who was playing in a tournament, right? And it's a card game tournament, so you're literally sitting across the desk from each other. And what happened was there was this guy, the couple and their child, right? And this guy kept giving the wife chocolate. And this guy then was talking to his wife, and the husband goes, "Oh, honey, would you like me to hand you the dice over?" They're like, "Oh yeah, sure." And then this guy literally goes, "Excuse me, no, no, just stay there, but not on the other side." All right, and this guy actually goes and says, "Oh, honey, you can use my dice instead." This guy literally parroted the word honey when the husband referred to his wife as honey. That is some delusional garbage right there. It does happen, and I was present. I was literally a table over. You know, like, not even a table over, like they were right next to me. I was going, what just happened? The entire tournament area that could hear what was happening went dead silent. You could hear a pin drop in a room full of 20, 30 people. It was ugh. But yeah, there is that. It does happen. No, no, you're not out there. There you go. You can be over there. That works. Do you guys see that? She was trying to get over onto the shelves there. So, unfortunately, no. But yes, it's one of those. Sad communication with little reason to believe. One isn't giving, one pretends to receive. And yeah, she was definitely going, "Oh, no, it's fine. I'll just use our dice." And yeah, that was so awkward. That was terribly, terribly awkward. But yeah, no, that was fun. Pardon my heart if I showed that I cared. And honestly, at this point, it's creepy. It's not because he cared. He was doing it what felt like just because he could do it, and be the quote unquote white knight. And it's unfortunately not even the first time this person has done it. All right, but I love you more than moments we have or have not shared. So yeah, here's part of the delusion. But I love you more than moments we have or have not shared, regardless of what it is happening right now and what they believe is gonna happen in the future. Those are two different things, and having that separate would actually be much, much better. But yeah, I would say keep your thoughts a little more realistic. And the way I deal with it, honestly, is that I would have multiple ways to look at the situation. When I see the situation go from horrible to great, I see no, how does it? I see the most horrible aspect that I can wish for, and the most not aspect, the most horrible scenario I can wish for, and the best scenario I can wish for, and the realistic scenario or most likely scenarios. Those are the three scenarios that I have in my brain. So that is where I would normally go to. And for example, Xerxby the cat, right, keeps jumping off onto that shelf. Best case scenario, she never gets on the shelf. She doesn't even try. Worst case scenario is she drops every goddamn thing and the entire shelf. And by the entire shelf, I mean she gets up there and the entire shelf just topples over, which can actually, yeah, depending on how tall, yeah, because of how tall that is, that will actually reach me. I can touch that from over here. Okay, there's like 3 inches between me and being able to touch that, but it's not that far, and it can actually topple. And you know, that's not the best thing for me, because I probably won't see it coming. But somewhere in between is she's somewhere more realistic is she's actually going to be somewhere over there and jump onto that shelf, which will then topple over a bunch of things. Luckily enough, it's not any of the expensive things, so it's not the biggest loss, but I would rather not lose any of the items on there. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So next, we'll do another quote, and then let's do. I don't want another love quote. Love quotes there's so many love quotes, and I absolutely hate them. They're ridiculous nowadays. Oh my god. All right. Let's do time. 30 seconds on the clock. Again, this is the NK65. This is the Super User Edition. As you can see, is the little section there, dark border, and I have matched it with the glorious keycaps. Olive is the colorway that I have here, and I actually used a different set or a different section for this left-hand side, so it's a little different. Normally it would be darker, but oh yeah, and the mod is that the silicone plate in between the actual plate itself and the PCB is removed. Okay. Oh my god. I stuttered in those last few seconds. Oh my god, but I was holding so well. Oh my god, I was holding over 100 words per minute. Oh my god, I stuttered. I slowed down because when I went to that word, I felt like I made a mistake. And then I tried to correct it, realized I didn't make the mistake. And the reason I stall every time is because I normally use the Mark 65, which is a split backspace, a split spacebar keyboard, and the left backspace, the left spacebar is actually a I've set it to backspace. So no, XB, you're not allowed to be over there. Bad. Okay. So yeah, it kind of screws me up because every time I have to switch, my brain goes, no, use the other one. Use the use the actual backspace. Yeah, alright, so I went as low as 32 words per minute there, and 30 actually at the lowest point when I was stuttering and thinking about it. I was just holding, I couldn't even type. Yeah. Alright, from there, and looks like the cat is now standing over here. Yeah, what do you want, Xp? Okay, yes, there's a cat on the table, unfortunately. Uh-huh. Yeah, this will definitely affect the sound test. Right? Your furry butt being in screen. Yeah. And now she's just licking herself. As you can see. Is that what you want? Do you want to interrupt the stream? Is that what you want? Okay. Yeah, no. Oh my god. How am I supposed to type over here, huh? How am I supposed to type? Good. Over there is much better, because at least it's the mouse. This is actually the ROG Harp Ace, and apparently it's one of the actual mice that might be, what's it called? That might be able to access the 4K dongle for the 4K hertz pulling. And we'll see how that works, but hopefully it's not too bad. Alright. And let's do, this time, a actual quote, talk about that a little bit, and hopefully it's not, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. All right. Oh. Boom. Oh, finally a quote at 100 words per minute. It has been a while since I've actually been able to do that. And oh, it feels good. Oh my god. Oh my god. Woo. watch that replay. All right, let's see. It's not the best or like the craziest thing in the world, but you know, it kind of is what it is. Why does it feel like it's lopsided? Huh, weird. It's like it's a little lopsided. Yeah, it looks like it's tilted to the right. I don't understand why, but it looks like it's tilted to the right. Either or, it should be fine. Okay. All right. So this is from the Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, and the quote is, "What's the issue? Oh, what's the issue? What's the use you learning to do the right when it's troublesome to do right and ain't no trouble to do wrong, and the wages is just the same." Yeah, it's one of those things, especially in current day society where, oh my god, just by being the psychopath psychopath the person who doesn't care about the moral high ground or the morality of it or the ethics of it and will be able to do anything about it. It's the scammers, like especially nowadays, people who do hacking, aka phishing attempts, and they get, mostly, which is unfortunate, mostly they get older people because older people are subject to, one, not only being lonely because, one, they're old, they're either foster home or alone at home, and not only that, they don't talk to their children that much because their children are off living their lives. So when they hear one or two things about their children, what happens is, oh my god, my child is in trouble or whatnot, and that's what they use. They use that panic, that slight bit of panic, to, yeah, yeah. See, like right now, they use that slight bit of panic to actually attempt to get the money out of these types of people, and these types of people actually still have money in their account because that was the old way of doing things. They want to keep money in the bank. They don't want to actually do anything with the money other than make sure they're able to live the rest of their lives in peace. Zerxby, no. Okay, there you go. Stay over there. And that's pretty much it. Like, I don't know whether that is a thing that should, matter at one point in time, but it is one of those things where, yeah, I believe that these people are just doing it because they can do it. It's nothing to do with whether or not they should be doing it. They have no moral quandary or dilemma over, oh, I'm screwing someone over their money. And some people actually just justify this, even if they had some ethics or belief in themselves. They have the thought of, oh, these people are rich anyways. What is half of their bank account? And stuff like that. And when it comes from third world countries where the pay is really, really low and the actual, what's it called, cost of living is really, really low, even $1,000 can feel like $10,000 somewhere else, especially in a third world country. I remember visiting the Philippines at one point, and literally their dollar menu cost less than $1. And that's how you can measure the how much the cost of living is in general. Like, this is obviously more rule of thumb more than anything. The general cost of living in an area is by going to the McDonald's and stuff like that, or the street food where normally the food isn't too expensive. No, Zerxby, not allowed. Anyways, but it's one of those things where, oh, I was paying literally 30% less than I would. It costs roughly 60 cents, like 65 or something cents to get something from the dollar menu. And at that point, I was getting paid a lot. So, well, in comparison to, like over there. So, what I did was I treated my friends to, or I treated my friends to something that would actually be somewhat out of their price range. So, it's one of those things where, oh, it's outside of their price range. And I say, hey, how about I pay for 50%? And they're like, oh my god, it's so expensive. I'm like, dude, this is one trip to the restaurant from me normally. Can you stop? Like, I know you're busy doing some things, but no, can you, no, bed. Yeah, can you not do that? Right, there you go. Oh, no. Can you not do that? So yeah, no, like going going to the Philippines and actually being able to buy things. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. When it comes to other things such as electronics, for example, if I was to buy a pair of headphones, Skull Candy is one of the more mainstream brands. It is relatively thought of being on the cheaper side, or even House of Marley. It's thought to be on the what is considered the cheaper side of all of the headphones, right? Highly bassy, not the best thing, but it's, it works. So, what would happen is I would look it up and yeah, no, the Beats headphones that cost $70 cost $150. What? Wait. What? What? Why is this a luxury over there? And it is a luxury over there. And my parents, every time they go there, it's like, oh yeah, all they keep doing over there is eat, 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 and eat. Yeah, because that's all they can afford in terms of what's it called? In terms of enjoyment, in terms of things to do. Because anything else turns to be a little more expensive. But even then, it's still that issue where I find where a lot of people don't realize the amount of money they're spending just because they can spend it. It's a lot of boredom eating that they do there. And for example, if you have, let's say, $10 and you're bored and you decide, oh, I might as well go eat something, and you spend $5 on, let's say, Starbucks plus $5 on a little trinket of food. So that's $10 gone. So you're like, yeah, I used $10. It's just $10. Then you realize you do that at least 3 times a week. That's $30. And you do that consistently for years. $30 a week times 4, which is roughly how many times it happens in a month. That is 120. 120 times 12 months in a year. That is 480. That's 1,480. Like, you could have bought a decent level gaming computer at that point. You could have bought a decent computer or just a starting computer. And a lot of people think, oh my god, that is so expensive. Yes, and so is the $10 a week that you spend, or $30 a week that you spend on random stuff. Even me, I still have that problem. I'm sitting there going, I do want to eat something today. And I spot a restaurant that I do really like. Do I really want to go over there and spend $30 to go and eat some pho? Yeah, because I don't eat just pho. I eat pho with spring roll, and I order the special, which has a lot of meat in it and a lot of different meats on top of that. Not just the regular one meat. Mine has tripe, it has tendon, and what is it called? Tripe, tendon, and brisket. So I don't know. I don't think I don't think people think it's worth it, or sorry. I believe people would think it's worth it compared to $1,000 computer. But if you don't spend the 30 divided by 1,000, you're actually gonna get there pretty soon. So yeah, I think that, and a lot of people also think that having, when it's troublesome to do the right and ain't no trouble to do wrong. Yeah. Oh, I guess we've gone way past where the code's talking, but yeah, no, doing the right thing tends to be harder. It always is harder. Like I was saying, it's always easier to do the wrong thing, the less ethically moral thing. Why? And the reason why it feels dirty for a lot of people, cause it's the scummy way to do it, but it's the easiest, fastest way to do it. That's kind of like one of those things where a lot of people get a headache thinking about it, but some people don't. People who are somewhat psychopathic don't care about this stuff. Those who are not, they don't care about this, right? Like it's just one of those things where to them it's fine. They don't mind. They don't hate it. They don't love it. But they're just like, yeah, it's just the way I get money at this point. Nothing to do with anything. But yeah, I don't know. All right, last just regular time, just to have that in there. Let's see if you can get a clean run without any issues from the cat. All right. Right. I should really have the mic point a little more downwards. I just said without issues from the cat. Zerxby! No! What meow? Don't meow me. No. Cat. Come on. You're not allowed out there. Okay? Now for now, no. You're not allowed out there for now. By the way, this is an awesome Gengar shirt. I love this Gengar shirt. It is awesome. Personally speaking. Man, is what it is. Boop. Okay. 6B. Not allowed up there. Bad, bad. Oh. This blood. Yeah. Huh. Okay. So the cat is being the cat. I believe the cat needs. Should I make a fort and see if the cat wants to have the fort? It's gonna be a cat stream at one. It's supposed to be doing keyboards, Zerxby, not cats. You realize this, right? Right? And then they go back down. Yep. Yep. Can't win. Can't win. Can't win. Right? Pets, am I right? You can't really win. They're too cute for anyone to win. Okay. Alright. Anyways, let us do the last typing test. Again, NK65, slightly modded, and the only difference is the silicone pad between the plate and the PCB has been removed. These are the Bad Seed Tactiles with the glorious cherry profile keycaps. Next me. No. Oh, jeez. Oh my god, I didn't hit that last one! Oh jeez. 33.3% AFK in 30 seconds. A. Alright, raw 81 words per minute with a low of 40, unfortunately. Now, bad. Bad. You know. Jesus. Alright. And yeah, that should pretty much be it for now. But let us bring up some of the music. Oh, and before that, let's hear some of the mods. Oh, here's the weird part. That's two different sounds. Hear the mods? What's that? Oh no. Got to the chapstick. Oh my god, do you want chapstick? No, I didn't think so. I do need chapstick though. I will admit. Put on like lipstick. Alright. Oh, ew. Okay. Alright, so let's take this off and go for it. Yeah. One of these days, I've heard, I don't know, I do feel like putting the Cherry MX Browns on this, just because I was looking at one of the sites and they say have butter browns, and apparently butter browns are just broken in Cherry MX Browns, and I'm thinking, I'm going here going, well, I mean, I did use that keyboard for about a year before swapping them to silent switches, so maybe this is a viable option. Maybe those are technically butter browns. Should I label them butter browns? Difference is, I think with the butter browns, quote unquote, it is rated for actual actuations. It's not that, oh, we've used it for a while. No. They've gone with this key presser, and they've actually validated that, oh, it has gone through 1,000,000 clicks. And I don't know how long that would take, but I would think 1,000,000 clicks would be a lot. But that's 1,000,000 seconds, right? So 1,000,000 divided by 60, I guess. We get the minutes. So that would be 1 point something. 1 point. So there would be 4 remaining. That would be 3, 4, 6. Yeah, that would be 1 point. That would be 0.4. So 1.4 is 16, 24. Yeah, 1.4. 1.5 actually. Yeah, 1.5 something, because if it's 5 it becomes 1. 1.5 to the infinite. Or is it 1.6? But basically it would be, yeah, it would be 1 mil, right? Divided by that. Oh my god, my brain. I don't know how to math anymore. Because 60 seconds? Yeah, I know. That's 1555555 to the infinite. Only 15s. Yeah, so it's just basically a lot of time before you can get into butter browns. And I think it's the 1 million. And the lifespan of Cherry MX switches, they are about 50,000. And you are going through 1/5 of the life of the switches before actually being able to use them. And you might think that is an issue, but it isn't a big issue, just because just to get to that ridiculous 10,000 actuation mark, it takes a long time. And that's assuming you do it evenly. With a lot of people, they don't type AQWERT. Like, you're not typing just a single letter every day. That's why these quote-unquote stuff like butter browns exists, whipped kale creams, or broken in Nixies. That's where these things come from. It's just that they've been used enough to actually get a mating surface. So basically, even with cars, there's a thing called surface mating, and it's when you have two opposing walls or friction points that's used to either seal or glide across a certain component. That component can get what is called a mating or mating scratches. But basically, these small micro scratches that exist on a what is effectively a micro level are then, sorry, my nose is getting clogged. Sorry, and yeah, no, it will have a mating time where these surfaces will align with each other. Just because, let's say Zerxby, no, you're not allowed up there. I can hear you. Zerxby, no, no, Zerxby, no, yeah. There you go. All right. I had to flick her with a very soft, what's it called? Was it a belt? Oh, it's a belt. Yeah, cloth. Anyways, but yeah, it is just one of those things where, what was I talking about again? God damn it, I lost track of things. God damn it, Zerxby, what have you done? Why have you done this to me? Alright, you can play with that. And it's one of those things where getting those actuations evenly is the whole point of why people pay for it. Kale whipped creams, broken in Nixies, butter browns is what they call them. So basically, those are switches that have been actuated enough times to get that mating. So those two surfaces are mated. However, the downside of this is that you can't really lube them without making sure you put the exact same stem with the exact same bottom housing. Otherwise, you might get a pair that hasn't been mated properly yet, and that takes, again, roughly about 10,000 actuations, which is about 1/5 of the lifespan of regular switches. So I wouldn't be too worried about the lifespan, because Zerxby, no, Zerxby, no. All right, but yeah, it's the 1/5 of the lifespan of the actual switches, and just to bust into the 1/5 of the lifespan, you are basically going to be typing for about a year straight non-stop for 24 hours for an entire year. So I'm not too worried about the lifespan of the switches being degraded, being broken in. But to get that broken in feel, you definitely would need a lot of time. So that's why you have those things being resold on the market. Oh, no. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. This is not, it's not cheap. Okay, Xerxby, you are not, you're not supposed to be up there. There you go, get on the bed. Oh, jeez. Let's rearrange that. Goddamn, pets. I know it's not your sleep time, but can you please sleep, Xerxby? Huh? Oh no, she's in hunting mode now. She's wiggling her tail. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, bed. Boom. Bottle of fortitude. You're not allowed to look at the bottle. I guess this would be a deterrent for her to climb up here as much. All right. Yes. So, yeah, I'm thinking of buying some or making some myself. If I can just press down on Cherry MX Browns for a long time, why not? I don't see the problem there. Just tap her away, just go pop, 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 and see where it goes. I don't know how long that million is gonna take, but was it 10 million? Yeah, 10 million actuations or something like that. So that makes a lot of time. But can you imagine a stream? All you do is press buttons. Quite literally, press buttons. All the buttons, all the time. Not even just one button, hundreds of buttons, just going. And the thing is, you can't tap it too fast. Otherwise, what happens is you break some of the switches, and they basically burn off due to just pure friction. So there is a certain limit on how fast you can press. And I think it takes hours to hit. Not hours, probably even days. I think we can check on a calculator to see where that is actually at. But that would actually be pretty sick to find out, honestly. How many hours does it actually take to get into Butter Brown's broken in Nixies or broken in condition where the two surfaces have mated? And do these people pre-lube the switches? That way you don't have to lube them into oblivion, right? But that's pretty much it. Alright, so now we have the Bad Seed Tactiles. Bad Seed Tactiles are one of my favorite switches just because they are highly tactile, and they actually do end right before, because you can probably see, I don't know if you can see it, but that is pretty high up the switch right before it bottoms out, as you can see. Most switches don't really do that, right, Xerxby? You have a lot of smudge. I'm gonna put that underneath my table because that is edge, right? Okay. I'm gonna grab a container for these guys with the cat not being disturbed. And thank you. Right? That was fast. Container. Oh. Here's a container. This is your regular IKEA Scadis setup where it can fit roughly 70 switches, and I did get the 70 switch pack. And honestly, I almost didn't make it. By the time I got into the order, it was literally, I kid you not, the 70 that was available. And the 40, I think. 40 and the 70. Where is that last switch? One fell down, unfortunately. Ow! But yeah, raw, this is roughly how it sounds like. Just very tight sounding switch. Very nice, high end. A click, a nice click at the end. So, I don't hate it. So yeah, no, I don't hate this type of switch. But now we are going into what I have in excess of are the speed switches, which was actually on my old, what is it called? Ducky 1-2 Mini. The Ducky 1-2 Mini right now, I forget what switch it has, but it has a switch that is, how do I say it? The switch that it has. Oh, what? I almost dropped something. All right, sorry. The switch that it has right now, because the Ducky 1-2 Mini normally isn't a hot swap, but we did mil-max it previously, so I do just have extra switches. This looks like roughly the same amount. There might be some missing switches in here, so I might fill in a gap. For example, the arrow cluster I can change. The home row I can change as well, allowing me to not use all the switches that I have to. Like, I don't have to fill every space, but we are gonna put the alphas in. So these are the coppers from Kale, speed copper specifically. Actually, yes, copper, because that would be the bronzes. The bronze are the clicky ones, and the copper ones are the tactile ones. So yeah, no, I do like going with the tactiles. Personally, I don't know. These are basically speed browns. That's what these are. These are basically speed browns. Are these lubed? Did I lube them before? I don't think I have lubed them. I might lube these next stream, which is next week, but wait, actually, let me double check. Have I lubed these? I'm gonna have to look at my previous content. So my previous lives. All right, let me see. Glorious Pandas, Glorious Links. No, Helios switches, Cherry MX Browns, Xylants, Ducky 1-2, Ducky 1-2. No, it looks, Milmax. No, looks like I have not. I might just do this next stream just to have that comparison. I do have extras over there. As you can actually see, it's the one I took it from, which would be to the right. So there's extras there. All right. Well, yeah, this was the one that was soldered on previously. I understand. Okay. So we'll see. We will see. But, oh, does it look like it go in? Looks like it goes in. These are not lubed. Wow, just by testing them out, these previously soldered ones are not lubed at all, by the looks of it. Yeah. Oh, Zerxby's not impressed on how unlubed they are, unfortunately. Oh, she is not impressed. Okay. But yeah, it does look like that is the case. These are not lubed, and we can actually do that. We can actually lube these things for next week's stream. Yay! Because I'm just waiting for a shipment on things. Well, I'm not waiting on a shipment. I'm waiting on a decision from me as to exactly what switches I'm going to use for or buy. And I'm definitely buying a lot more Milmax hot swap sockets because I want to turn my Iron 165 into a hot swap keyboard. But yes, that is one of the few things that I'm thinking of doing, actually. And honestly, it's been sitting in my cupboard for about a good part of the year now, if not two. At this point, just sitting there going like, oh yeah, I received my Iron 165 from the pre-order or group buy from years ago. And it's just sitting there. And I really want to put the, what's it called? Runic keycaps on it. I forget the keycap name, but it really matches the board. And it has a nice teal looking blue body. So it's like, oh yeah, that would be so cool, and I'd be able to use it. And then the iron. But here's the thing, I'm kind of scared because the iron board is not at all hot swap. It is just pure solder. And not that I haven't soldered before, it's just there have been reports where yes, the PCB sometimes doesn't work, and I just haven't touched it. I just left it there, and I haven't touched it. So I'm sitting there going, maybe I should have touched it? I don't know. Oh, yeah. It is one of the few things that I'm going, yeah, I have a lot of regrets. Yeah. And I also might be meeting a friend soon. I actually sold him one of my silent keyboards, and I might ask him if he wants a technical upgrade, because I can desolder and lube the actual keyboard. And I don't know. It's one of those things where like, yeah, please, thank you. I'd love to actually do that because I need things to do on stream, and I'm running out of things to do on stream until I buy stuff. And if I can do this for free for you, maybe that's the payment. Like, don't get me wrong. If he takes it as, oh hey, how about this? I'm gonna pay you to do it. How much does it normally cost? I would probably have to look online and find out exactly how much it costs to do something like that, and go, it's normally this much. It's like, yeah, sure, I'll do that for you. I even have another tub of lube that is just sitting in the back, and I think it has an expiry date. So I don't know. It's just one of those things where I'm sitting here going, yeah, maybe I should actually start doing that, because at the very least, I'd be able to start doing other things, and I can technically call it a commission. That way, I can say, yes, I've done commissions before, instead of just my own work. That way, it's very much more, oh hey, by the way, I'm scared of ruining this, so let's not ruin it. And I can even tell him, I think he's using silent reds. I do have a bunch of Helio switches, so if I do break one by accident, I can just replace it, and I have multiple keyboards, so if I do break his keyboard, I can also replace it, not just the switch. So it's not a bad deal. It's just, even in my hot swapping and looming of the Ducky 1-2 Mini, it was one of the few keyboards where, I don't know, I didn't have as much of a hard time when I first did it years upon years ago, and now for some reason I find it much harder. It's kind of ridiculous, honestly. It's a nice problem to have. You know, the inability to actually do things, and then having the joy of finding out, oh, actually I can do this. It's not that hard. And then doing it years later and going, oh yeah, no, I remember having a skill issue with this previously. Because it was a skill issue previously. I was actually there desoldering, and pulling out the solder from the switch actually is skill issue. Because when I was trying to pull the solder out, I ended up not pulling all of the solder out. There was like little tiny bits of solder remaining that would stick onto the leg. So if you can see here, right? The leg and the hole, there would just be the tiniest little bit connected to the hole, or the solder pad, so to speak. And that created a bunch of problems for me, where I couldn't just pull out the switch. Because if I pulled out the switch, what would happen is the pad would also come. Oh, okay. So here's an example, right? The pad would come off. This is not the pad. This is another Milmax socket that I got tired of trying to remove. So as you can see, there's a burn mark over there, and we're gonna ignore that for now. And actually put on a different switch. So yeah, might do that. We might actually be able to, what was that? How? I wasn't even moving anything. Okay, so my electric screwdriver just fell down. We're gonna be grabbing a bunch of stuff here in a moment. But yeah, no, that is pretty much a thing. Oh, it's almost been an hour? Jesus. That is quite a while. What time is it actually? I started my stream late because I was doing my laundry, and this last load, because I put it in the dryer. During summer, normally I would try to put it outside, basically the laundry basket or the laundry dryer outside. But again, Canada, therefore right now putting it outside would only serve to freeze it, and I would have a stiff jacket, stiff shirt, and a frozen shirt. Honestly, one of the things I used to do back in summer is freeze a piece of wet cloth and put it over my head. That way it would act as a, you know, moisture wicking kind of scenario. All right. Ta-da! And it's really great. But in winter, I don't think we need any of that. It's already hard enough to stay in the heat as it is. So no, that shouldn't be a thing. Let's not do that. As you can see, these ones are relatively raw. There is no solder on it. So weirdly, I don't know why they use two different pieces of metal, because this is copper. The other one seems to be some sort of aluminum or titanium or something. I don't know why Xerxby wants to stay in that specific section. Yeah, no, you're not sitting in that section. Oh, jeez. She's trying anyways. Look at her. She's trying to sit in that section. Yeah. She normally tries to sleep in that section, but the big pillow is actually this one right here. And normally that's its position. But, yeah. I think it's because it has a lot of space in between it. If I put headphones on that section there, that one row, unfortunately, it might end up being... What's it called? She might not be there. But unfortunately, I'm also blocking her with my head and or face. So it's... Yeah. It is what it is, unfortunately. But yeah, almost done here. These are the... Again, these are the speed coppers. Or are they bronze? I can't remember. This is not a bronze color. Is this a bronze color to you guys? I think these are bronzes. I might be wrong. It might be bronzes, not the coppers. But I will double check in a moment. It is just one of those things. Copper and bronze. And I'm sitting here going, so the speed are silvers, and then you get copper and bronze. Where's the golds? I was hoping for gold. Yeah, this is going to be a... Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a good switch and keyboard combination. Because... Oh! Gaming keyboards? 90% of why they fail in the sound department, straight up, is because the switches aren't lubed. I'm not even joking. It's one of the most ridiculous things. Even this NK65, when I first got it, it looked like it was properly lubed, but it was not. It was actually, the lube was way further down the stem than it had to be. So what ended up happening is there's a lot of lube in the wrong spot. Basically where there was no friction and when there was no wiggle room, or where there was a lot of wiggle room or no wiggle room required, then yeah, no, it ended up sounding really rattly, really bad, and I hated it. I made a video on it, actually. It's one of those, oh yeah, no, easily fixable though. It's not the worst thing in the world. Just if you are a beginner and you don't buy the items, especially when you expect hot swap already done, pre-lube, stabs, you should be good. Just get some what's it called? Get some switches, get some keycaps, call it a day. You're good. But no, apparently not. You are not good. You are not doing too well. So whoever had the factory calibration set, it's a little too far south at the time, and I haven't heard any issues with that lately, but it could be people who are enthusiasts are just fixing it and going, they had lube in there, so I'll give them a pass. It's a little too far down south, but let's leave them be, unfortunately. Yeah, but yeah, no, it's one of those things. All right, but yeah. All right. Looks like that H is not quite sitting properly. I think that might be a misaligned. No, it's not misaligned at all. Weird. Maybe I just didn't push it down properly? Alright. The H is a little too high there. Okay. Oh, well, I just didn't push it down properly, unfortunately. Yeah. Oh, I tell this every stream at this point, but the reason why, instead of quickly going through and destroying the keycap sets just to toss them into the section and just placing them actually neatly in rows, is so I can just do this. I can just not think about it while putting them together. I don't have to go, oh, where's number 3? Where's number 4? Where do I put number 4? Is it over here in this corner? And then you end up thinking, oh, yeah, number 4 is over here. But you have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's correct, right? That is correct. And then realize you're a couple numbers over because you forgot that the escape key is on the top left-hand corner. So you end up thinking, oh yeah, let me just put 1, 2, 3, 4. But no, it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 because of escape, but 0's on the other side. Oh yeah. Did I get that right? Yes, I got that right. Jeez. Speaking of that, right? I actually also every time I put it together based purely off memory, the plus and minus, right, which are next to each other, I keep putting plus and then minus because I normally say plus minus. I don't say minus plus. I say plus minus, which means plus then minus. Oh, sorry. Plus and then minus. But obviously, that is not the case. It's one of those really dumb things where I'm like, oh yeah, plus minus. That's how you're supposed to do it. It's not just minus plus. So I put plus minus, and then every time I hit dash and I miss, I go, oh, I missed dash. And I hit dash, and it becomes an equals on the screen. I go, what? But that's dash. And I realize, oh, yeah, because I put it incorrectly, therefore I am inputting incorrectly whatever I incorrectly input in the first place. So there is that. Let's see, how does this sound? Okay, look, I don't hate that. I don't hate that. Okay. Ooh, gaming keyboards. Jeez. This is definitely better sounding than most gaming keyboards. Why does this sound? This sounds solid. This does not. I don't understand how that works in terms of just being a keyboard, but yeah, see, this is solid. A little scratchy, but solid. Same with this. Yeah, you hear that? Ooh. Actually. Right? It's solid sounding, as you hear. Sounds solid, but there's a bit of scratch, and I believe that it has to do with a lot with the lubing, which it's not lubed at all. Yeah, even that top section is not lubed. Yeah, so no, unfortunately, it's just one of those things where it is not lubed, therefore nothing we can do about it much. Okay, so let us give it another test here. As you can see, attach that there. We'll do regular words. Oh, right, I did say Kale Speed Bronze, I believe. Kale Bronze. Sound level loud. What? Speed switch set. Yeah, there we go. Linear, tactile, and clicky. Okay, gold, silver. What? Copper. Gaming office. Speed bronze. Bronze is clicky. Copper is... Okay, so these are copper. Okay, these are tactile, so these are coppers. Okay. So these are Kale Speed copper switches on the NK65, slightly modified to have the silicone gasket in between the plate and the PCB removed. These are not lubed, and yeah, no, this is regular. Yeah, because it is way too heavy to not be a regular set. Okay, and the, what's it called? Glorious Cherry Profile keycaps, the olive version. All right. Let us give this a shot here. Unfortunately, I don't like that. That is crooked. Whatever. Okay. Oh no, I made a mistake. Jesus. All right, 72 words per minute with a 124 word per minute peak and a low of 48, unfortunately. But yeah, those were the speed copper bronze. Copper switches, yes. Speed copper switches, not the bronzes. These are the coppers. Okay. Alright, we're going to do another test, but this time we're actually going to do a quote, talk about it a little bit as well. Alright. This back. Oh, right, that's the side. Oh. There we go. Z is not working right now. So I think we injured a switch. Let's see. Let's pull this guy out. No, did not injure the switch. It's fine. Let's find out. Let's see if this works. We are just gonna put this one in anyway. Looks like that's fine. Z back in. Oh. No, Z is not working, period. Or why? That. Plug it back in. If that makes a difference. You know, because if it's not the switch, this is not good. I only removed the switches. Oh, Z is just not working. Okay. Well, we'll deal with that, I believe. That's not. I'm using just the search bar or the you know, the regular bar just to see if that makes a difference, because I'm not getting any response from this very specific switch. Via. Open up Via and test it through there instead. And let's go. So yeah, that's it. 5. Looks like that's not working. No, those are working. Alright, so those are working. So we're missing 2. Okay. Those seem to be 2 non-working ones. And we're going to try one more time. No, it's not working whatsoever. Is it to do with the PCB? I can't have screwed over the PCB by removing switches. That doesn't make sense. Same with this one key. So Z is not working. But let's find out. Let's find out why. Because this is a little annoying. That doesn't make sense. Did the Kale hot swap fail? Let's take this out real quick. Alright. Doesn't look like the Kale hot swap failed. It might have actually. Because that looks a lot lower than normal. Let's take out X, which we know works, and look at them side by side. It does look like it did fail. Might have to open up the board, so looks like a longer stream than I thought it would be. We'll see here. Control and function next to each other. Because I'm going to show you here, but as you can see on the right hand side, this looks like it's not as recessed. So the left hand side where Z is, it looks a lot more recessed than the one that is in the middle. So we're gonna open up this board, and I believe there is a bunch of sections here that need to be opened. So this section here, open up. All right, one tab and Q. But yeah, no, I've never seen this happen before. The same on the other side. I believe there's one in the middle as well. I'm not too sure, but I know the four corners definitely have at least some sort of screw that is involved. And then we'll see from there. And then the down screw, I believe there's one more in the middle somewhere. There it is. Right there. 6 and 7 in between. 7, 6, and Y. That way I have full access to it. What else? And it doesn't seem to be any in the middle. Maybe underneath the spacebar where I'm lacking any visibility? There is indeed, right underneath the spacebar, just the one. Full move control as well. Oh, there is some flex to the spacebar. We're gonna slightly bend it back. Nope, doesn't seem like that helped. Nope, it's still there. So yeah, there's gonna be some spacebar wobble, unfortunately. And this is a Torx screw by the looks of it. Yeah, and that is the exact screw that I need. I do have that relatively pre-prepared, but I'm gonna go down in here. Fortunately, the buttons have fallen off. I don't even understand how that happens. I don't even understand where the rest of it is. Possibly Xerxby kind of screwed the pooch. Hopefully not. There we go. As you can see, there is a micro switch in there. But yeah, no, looks like it just kind of fell off. Yeah, hopefully those buttons are fine. And we can continue on. Yeah. Maybe not all the way in this lowered position, but we will be able to continue on. What is that it? Oh, there we go. Okay. It's 1. That's 2. 3. Okay, looks like we are good. 4, 5, 6. This would be much faster with a non-electric screwdriver, but when you're a little lazy and feel like just pressing a button, it works. It more than works. Okay, let's see the underside. The PCB, as you may. Alright, so this is the Z. Looks like. Oh! It has been removed, as you can see here. It has been removed. It's like, oh no, the entire pad has been removed, unfortunately. So this is straight up just not going to work, I believe. I'd have to scratch some of the pad off to be able to get more. So the Z is no longer working because we pushed down the kill switch. And looks like it's gonna be the same with the other one. This is... yeah. Oh, Jesus. As you can see, has been pressed down. I wonder why. Oh, because the switch Oh, I see. I wonder where the PCB is connected, because that pushed down way too hard. So if I... Okay, hold up. Okay. So, unfortunately... Oh, hey, Mint. How are you? Uh... Oh, when you insert hot swap in the future, you must take out the PCB and support the sockets from the back with either table or hand. Oh, that's why Milmax is superior for actual secure hot swap. Yeah. No, unfortunately, yeah, that is what happened. Where, I want to see, I think these are technically fixable. The downside of having these things, or the Kale hot swaps, is that I actually have to desolder, not just desolder, one half of the keyboard. I actually have to scratch the PCB to expose some more copper traces to be able to actually, what is it called? To be able to actually resolder them back on. Otherwise, it's just not gonna work out, unfortunately. And yeah, sorry I stepped out there, but I had to deal with something real quick. It wasn't the cat, fortunately enough. But yes. Yeah, because I did a bunch of laundry earlier, and it was, oof, that was a lot. And it was literally drying for ages. Okay, so unfortunately, that would... This is not great. At least with this one here, this is colon. At least with colon, it's not the worst thing in the world. Let's see here. Maybe next time I have to pay attention a little bit more with hot swap. Yeah, I didn't even think that would happen. I don't think it was in the wrong position either. Yeah, no, actually that got pushed purely from the force being pushed down after entering the socket. That's not even hitting the wrong edge over there. Huh. I didn't think that was possible, but looks like it was. Yeah, because if I push down, oh, and I look at that section there, yeah, it actually would have fit in normally. It's just now the pad doesn't work. Would it actually work with the pad kind of touching something? I highly doubt, but oh no. Okay, No. If I press the pad even harder? No. It's touching nothing at all. Wiggle a little bit? No. Unfortunately, that is a bad thing. Okay. Now I have to research to see what I can do to remedy this, because the only thing I can think of is literally cutting open some of the traces in the back. I'd have to desolder these. Yeah, this switch, so that's the colon, where you can probably see it's basically wiggling there. Yeah, it's basically wiggling. And it has no contact on the pad, unfortunately. Alright, same thing with the Z switch. Which one was it? Is it this one? Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. Oh, and here's the thing. The left-hand side, so I'm gonna have to do both ends. Just because I did this, and I can see that the copper trace is lifting up as well. But yeah. Milmax, apparently superior. I'm not aware of how other way I would fix this, because I'm pretty sure Milmax, Kale Hot Swap and Milmax are not compatible, because I believe the traces for this, looking at just what I'm seeing here, the traces for these things aren't actually, yeah, they don't go into the actual holes, so I can't turn this into a solder keyboard. Just going by what I can see physically. But yeah, no, it doesn't look like the traces go into the circular section. And I believe this would be a different... Yes, it's not compatible. You need solder specific PCB. Yeah, that's what I figured, just looking at it. Okay, so we're gonna just put these together, unfortunately. We're gonna talk about the quote from the Invisible Man, but we're gonna put this together, make it look presentable at least, and see what we can do there. But looks like that is the case. We're gonna put this in a little more carefully now, and I'm now more aware. Good luck jumping those. You're braver than I. Hey, look, I will at the very least attempt it. Okay, it's one of those things where even when I Milmaxed, because I Milmaxed the Ducky PCB, I think that was 2 streams ago, and I Milmaxed the Ducky 1-2 Mini, the gaming keyboard, and that went horribly. It took me 6 hours just to go through it all. By the end of it, I felt dead. I felt like I was the, oh no, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. Finish me right now, was how I felt, unfortunately. Alright, we'll put this together. We'll talk about the Invisible Man quote in a bit. But when I noticed that Z not working, it just, it was such a pain. Alright, we'll put X back. We'll put that back in later. And yeah, no, what happened a couple times actually when I was Milmaxing was this. That is the Milmax socket. Right? So it just got stuck on, because unfortunately some of the solder went on the inside of the hole where it's supposed to not go into. Unfortunately. Yeah. So I tried to desolder it, and unfortunately it was easier to pull it out with the switch than it was to take the switch out. And taking it off the switch is actually hard. It's very, very hard. I tried a couple times because it only got stuck twice. The first one came off easily. This one, on the other hand, I had trouble removing it, and I've burned it a couple times, as you can see. I've burned it a couple of times trying to get it off. So it's like, oh no, goddamn. I should have stuck with other things. All right, we'll leave this. Yeah, let's put in some switches. That way it doesn't look like it, you know, got all gutted and everything. Push this through, but we're gonna hold it and support it from the back properly. Yeah. You would think these would be friction fit on, right? At the very least. Because if this, I think, if the Kale Hot Swap sockets were also friction fit on, where the socket area the pins would normally go into were at least also friction fit, or had a gasket of some sort that would hold the Kale hot swap sockets a little better, allowing it to not happen. Okay. I remember hearing a lot of hate for the Kale hot swap sockets when they were relatively new to the market. Now I kind of see why. I see why. Yeah. Jeez. So yeah, this is version 1.4 of the board. And at least there's a plethora of NK65 PCBs in the aftermarket. Yeah. That's so unfortunate. Okay. Well, I mean, we did a test with the, what's it called? Silicone gasket inserted. So let's actually take that out and we'll do another test, and hopefully the letter Z doesn't pop up. And we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I think I might put some foam in there. Do I have the foam for it? I believe I have the foam for it. I'm actually gonna search for the foam for it. Give me a sec. Cause, that is unfortunate. I don't know. Where is it? No, this is not it. Oh, I might have put it in the... Oh, I might have put it in the case. Here, I believe. But yeah, it's one of those things that I do not understand. Where did I put it? It should only be in those two places. And if I can't find it, I'll just go with a hollow board instead. Yeah, so we can go with the worst configuration for the NK65. Not that it completely works anyways, but yeah, let's go with the worst configuration of the NK65. And this piece of silicone is why this board sounds really solid. Now, obviously, if you have a hollow keyboard, it's gonna be hollow, but the reason a lot of gaming keyboards back in the day sounded really bad, because this is what was inside. Nothing. There was nothing there. There was no silicone in between the PCB. And now, at least nowadays, you can actually get keyboards that have the tape mod redone for you. You know, it's factory tape modded, and you're sitting there going, "Oh, that's a nice change. That is awesome." Yeah, but especially with the newer gaming style keyboard, the analog switches, not analog switches. Yeah, the digital switches or magnetic or Hall effect switches. It is, oh Jesus Christ, it is a much nicer experience. My main gripe about those is they don't seem like there will be a tactile version at any point, because it kind of defeats the purpose when you can't go all the way down, or what's it called? You can't reset the switch properly if you just go back a little bit. I think it won't be much of a problem in terms of the response time, because the Hall effect, what's it called? Yeah, the Hall effect switches, their main claim to fame for the gaming space is that if you back off the switch, it immediately resets the switch. You don't have to go past a certain point before the switch is able to reset itself. In other words, you have a much more responsive switch than you would normally have. And a lot of the gaming keyboards tend to have really light switches, which is why they end up being, what's it called? They end up feeling less responsive, because when you have a very light switch, you end up having a switch that doesn't return as fast. In other words, getting back into that reset point is terribly hard, or it feels laggy. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it, unfortunately, in terms of lighter switches. But that's what's recommended by a lot of other gaming enthusiast tech reviewers, because, oh yeah, it's very light, so you can keep on going. And the difference between 20 grams per click isn't too much, honestly. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to add 20 extra grams to a Switch just to make it feel a lot more responsive. And it does feel a lot more responsive, especially when the Switch weight is at like around 70. I think around 72 grams is the sweet spot for if you want gaming responsiveness and the ability to actually type without going crazy. But yes, now we can talk a little bit more about Invisible Man while we put this here. So let's go back here. So watch replay. All right. Source Invisible Man. The quote goes, "I was looking for myself and asking everyone except myself questions which I and only I could answer. It took me a long time and much painful boomeranging of my expectations to achieve a realization everyone else appears to have been born with, that I am nobody but myself." Yes, the quote. That is... I am currently on that journey. The only thing that I have found so far is that I like tech stuff. And I like gaming in general. I've recently started playing Owlboy, which is one of those things, one of the indie platformers, which was popular, I think 2017, in the indie space. If you are looking for like indie games and things people would recommend, it is one of the top recommendations. It is what you call a pixel art game, or hyper retro pixelization, or modern pixel art type game. So it is very pixelated, but it is intentional and by design. Okay. And yeah, I was looking for myself and asking everyone except myself questions which I and only I could answer. A lot of people seek a validation outside themselves, me included. I seeked validation from my parents. That's where I got my validation from. But I never got it because my parents, of course, are your traditional Asian parents of, "Oh my god, mom, dad, I got a 95% in class. I answered almost every question except this one question." And they go, "Well, how can you never make that mistake again?" They don't congratulate you on getting an A+. They go, "Oh yeah? Why didn't you get a perfect grade? What is wrong with you?" That's effectively what I got. So I never really got that validation. But I find that to myself that, yeah, no, I can just get my own validation. I have to be okay with not achieving what they've set out for me. And a lot of the things that I've actually seen in life is that a lot of people are disappointed because of their own expectations. It's not even someone else's expectation. If your expectation is that if you can fulfill someone else's expectation and you don't fulfill that expectation for them, and that's an external source. This is something else that is completely and utterly outside of your control. What happens is that you get disappointed or angry because when you don't fulfill someone else's expectation and you expect it to be able to fulfill that, you feel disappointed in yourself and angry that your expectations were not achieved. Like a lot of the times when anyone's angry or surprised, or it's because exactly that. You have expectations and those expectations were not met. Some people react with, "Oh, that's a happy surprise," because they find that their expectations have been thwarted. But that's all right. I remember watching kind of like something dumb like the Sonic movie, where Dr. Robotnik goes ahead and tries to fire off against the Sonic, and they go, "Well, I did not expect that, but you know what? I expected to not expect that, so I definitely still expected that. It's still within my calculations. It's fine." And that's the way you should kind of go through life. To have things that you don't expect to happen and be okay with it. Not to quote a villain, but I think he has the right motivations there, or at least the right mindset. Just keep going and going and going, despite all the issues with the realization. All right. It took me a long time and much painful boomeranging of my expectations. Yeah, like I said with my parents, and that I found even as a young kid, because this happened, I think, in middle school. Yeah, in middle school was when I actually found out that I didn't have to follow those expectations set by my parents, and I ended up much happier during that time. That I started having a small business to myself. Like, I was the kid that sold pulp juice. Basically, at the canteen, all you could get was, what's it called? You could get Coke. No one wanted Coke. People didn't like Coke. And I think there was a small health craze going on at the time. And because there was a small health craze going on at the time, what happened was people wanted fruit. Looks like the stream dropped for a little bit there. I don't know where I was at during that time. Looks like it's fine. I wonder what happened there. Okay, either or. My apologies. But yes, it's one of those things where I started a small business. I got at least about $20, $50 every week. As a child in middle school, I started selling Pokemon as well. And the funniest thing was, I was able to get about $500 in a month as a child. I was the richest child there. I could have literally bought a Game Boy. But no, the first thing I bought, guess what? It was more Pokemon cards and more food. I didn't really care. I already had the Game Boy. So I spent it a little more in the business, and what happened was I effectively cornered the market to the point that I overflooded it, I oversaturated it. I kept selling kids cards, and their parents were saying, wait, the same kid that sold you the card beat you at the same game, therefore, because everyone played for keeps at the time, you gave them your card back? Wait, how does that work? So yeah, basically I was recycling the card. So I would play against them. They would give me I would win. They would give me the card, and they want their card back. And I was like, you can either play for it, but they couldn't play for it because they didn't have any cards. So I sold them their cards back to play again. It feels like a scam, but I was like, well, a kid, and that kid also wanted their cards back, so I sold it to him. It was ridiculous. It was really, really funny. Like, thinking about it in hindsight. As a kid, this is normal. But yeah, no, I was one of the richest kids out of my actual own small business-minded self as a child. I sold things. It was great. But nowadays, I'm thinking here going, oh, I should start YouTube. Why? Because I have a lot of things I want to talk about. I have a lot of things I want to experience. And if it could pay for itself one day, why not? And that's literally why I started Enthusiast Impressions and here Enthusiast Naka, which is the streaming one. But it's just one of those things where I'm like, even today, I'm in an entrepreneurial mindset and my brain kind of thinks of that. So it's nicer. I don't know. It's nice to know that part of me wants to do these things, but it's also not nice to know that I'm kind of stifled by the small expectations that I've set on myself for years and years. But that's what it is. Took me a long time and much painful boomerang of my expectations to achieve a realization everyone else appears to have been born with. And I've recently met a lot of people who seems to know what they want from birth. Like they seem to have known exactly what they wanted to do. One of my friends is a teacher, and literally both in middle school and high school, you can check the yearbook when they graduated. It says, when I grow up, I will be a teacher. And this guy, since grade 7, wanted to be a teacher. He doesn't know why he wants to be a teacher. Exactly. Like, he gets the gist of why he wants to be a teacher. He doesn't know the precise reason, but he knew he wanted to be a teacher. Guess what? He's a teacher. He likes his job. He gets tired, don't get me wrong. It's still a job, but he loves doing it. I've met a chef who literally is 21 years old and is the head chef. How do you get to that point? And it's not exactly like a small scale restaurant that, you know, it's whatever. It's a decent restaurant. It's not the worst place to be in. It's like middle of the road, but he's the head chef of the middle of the road at age 21, owns a house, has a wife and a kid, and another kid that just came along, and he's comfortable being able to pay for everything. He's not doing too bad. He knows exactly what he wanted to do, and he kept going with it. And apparently he took classes in high school. He was cooking back at his parents' place. When he was a kid, he actually went, of course, to post-secondary for cooking. He actually went and worked at multiple restaurants before getting to the point he's at. And this is at 21. 21. This is 4 years after graduation. Yeah, 5 years after graduation. I think 18 is when people graduate most of the time. Oh my god. What the heck? How? I wouldn't, how do you say it? I wouldn't hate it to know exactly what I want to do. I wish I found it when I was younger, right? But of course, we can't go back in time and say, hey, by the way, you like tech stuff. Like, I can't tell me that. I can't go back. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here to go back and tell myself, by the way, you like tech stuff. Do something about it. Right? And it ends up being the worst feeling and the best feeling, knowing that I know something, that it has to do something with tech, something with being very tactile with the things like mice. I really like mice. I really like keyboards, like trying them out, testing them out, and even headphones, right? It's one of those things. It's in my blood. I just like want to do these weird tech stuff. I want to play games. It's basically the whole streamer thing. It's a thing that I want to do, but at the same time, I can't justify doing it because it costs me more money than I can afford, but I'm doing it anyways. So yeah, it's just one of those things where in time, it's gonna be fine. But you have to wait until you can get to that point. But yeah, no, trust in yourself. And even if someone says, oh, you can't make money doing that, then find a way to make money doing that. Especially if you love doing it, just do it. Honestly. And if you can monetize it just enough to be sustainable, do that. And just be happy with your life in general. And don't look anywhere else. Oh yeah, cool. People can make money buying fancy cars. You can buy a fancy car, but does that make you happy, or does buying the coolest, newest keyboard for $500 make you happy? You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing or another. You gotta pick and specialize on the one thing that you really, really like. You know? Be nobody but yourself, basically. You don't have to go with the expectations of others. You don't want to look for yourself and ask everyone else to fulfill that expectation, right? So, it is what it is. All right, we are going to do one more quote on this technically broken N65 and technically now extra modded, because now there is nothing in the back. So as you can see, honestly, I do like this look. This looks really nice, personally. I like how you can just see through the back. Reminds me of the old Game Boys. I really miss that. But yeah, it's really sad that the Kale hot swap sockets kind of just broke off, unfortunately. Okay, so we are going to do one more test. Okay. Oh. And we're gonna do one more quote. Test. All right. I do not spot Z, so this should be possible to do, and hopefully we reach at least 75 words per minute. That is my normal. I try to at least get to 75 words per minute, but okay. Okay. Oh, don't need music. All right. Again, this is the NK65 with no inserts. So the silicone inserts that are normal for the stock version of the keyboard have been removed, and I am using the Kale Speed copper switches, unlubed, with the glorious cherry profiles. Yeah, cherry profile keycaps on. All right. Hey, damn. That wasn't too bad. I don't hate the sound of that. It still sounds relatively solid, and I think it has to do with the posts in the middle. So as you can see, probably right there are posts in the middle, which is why that section, yeah, that lines up with this. That section, second row. Yeah, it lines up with the second row, which is why it sounds solid. But because it's hollow, you can hear a lot of the pinginess. Yeah, you can hear a lot of the pinginess. That's not nice. So yeah, if you are going to go with a quote-unquote hollower PCB, if you want the more of the midtones to stand out, I think pushing with some polyfill or some sort of foam insert that is loosely packed will reduce a lot of that ping. Yeah. But I don't hate the sound. I really like the more mid-tones instead of the higher pitch ones. Oh, that's worse. Yeah, you can hear that. I wonder if you can hear it from here. Yeah, there is a lot of ping, but unfortunate there. Okay. All right. Time to talk about this quote from Animal Farm, which I have unfortunately made a mistake on, and only did 62 words per minute. I was hoping for 75, but unfortunately, that's not possible for me at the moment. Okay. The creatures outside look from pig to man, and from man to pig, and from pig to man, but already it was impossible to say which was which. Yeah, no, yeah, this is one of those things where, who was it? There was, I know, because I've been watching a couple shorts recently because I was thinking of making shorts, especially with the channel, and see if I can make shorts out of it instead of just kind of leaving it up there, you know, get exposure and all that. But who was it who said, it doesn't matter who said it, but they said that there is basically a 1% difference between a chimpanzee and a human. That is the 1% difference. Even a rat has a less than 1% difference between a human and a rat or a mouse. I can't forget which one it was. But if you think about it, if that slight variation is the only cause between a chimpanzee who doesn't speak a language and is unable to get past the, of course, Stone Age, so to speak, and it's only a 1% difference in DNA, what is an alien with 100% difference in DNA, with 10 times smarter than we are, more advanced, and so advanced to the point that they can come to our planet, will probably look at the planet and go, imagine their children. Their children are probably going, how can they not solve trigonometric equations? Ha! Silly little animal. They can't tell. They won't be able to tell the difference between a chimpanzee and a human. It's like, yeah, this is a hybrid between like that chimpanzee And an ant, because they keep building structures that go up, 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 and up. We don't know what they do it for, but they're just there. They're relatively big. And that's it. That's all we got. We don't have anything on these aliens. These aliens are kind of dominating us, so to speak. They just because their children probably has the secrets to the universe unlocked and the ability to drive across the cosmos and explore it. Meanwhile, our children are trying to learn ABCs and go goo goo gaga. But yeah, that is unfortunately the difference. Imagine being able to solve trigonometry. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. The animal like me cannot even say trigonometry. So trigonometry? Is it trigonometry? Right? Trigonometry? Oh my god. Well, there goes any of my speech and vocabulary that I definitely know, but it's probably just the the smoke I've been inhaling for a little while. Okay, but yes, so this is the difference between this keyboard, and I guess I can do at least one more. I'll do one last one. The Milmaxed the Milmaxed Ducky 1-2 Mini. Show it off a little bit here. So this is the Milmaxed keyboard. I put the Xylent switches on it. These are Xylent Tactiles. But as you can see, it looks like a regular gaming keyboard. The Ducky 1-2 Mini. As you can see, it says 1-2 Mini. Right there. Ducky 1-2 Mini. Nothing crazy. But silent switches. Unlubed silent switches, mind you. Not the worst thing, and definitely something you would love to bring in the office. However, the trick up its sleeve is that it is now hot swap. So, if we move this aside for a tad bit, move this over here. And as you can see, these are the Xylent switches. They are purple or bluish or navy. Navy. I'll say they're navy. And I can just go boop. Ta-da! A non-hot swap keyboard. Now hot swap thanks to Milmax. I wonder how hard is it to machine Milmax switches, because I feel like instead of putting Kale hot swap switches, why not just Milmax everything, right? Assuming that the problems with Kale hot swap arises more and more, is it just to add weight to the keyboard? Is there some sort of way that works? Maybe it's just hard for machines to actually solder a Milmax keyboard. That might be it. I have no idea. I don't deal with manufacturing, unfortunately. And maybe at one point I'll learn exactly why Milmax switches are not possible on a pre-built keyboard. But like I said, we're gonna give this at least a shot here. Come on, come on. Push this down. Alright. Yeah. You wouldn't be able to say this was not a gaming keyboard, other than it has a different set of keycaps than most gaming keyboards. But yes, this is a gaming keyboard, 1000 Hz polling rate. We're actually gonna give this one more quote. Okay, again, this is the Ducky 1-2 Mini that has been modified to have Milmax switches and are using the Xylent 68-gram switches with SA keycaps. This is a combination of two different SA keycaps though, but the alphas are mostly the same keycap. Oh, okay. I made a mistake. But I still did at least higher than 75 words per minute. Awesome. Okay. That is relatively rare. I'm getting better though. I am getting better. I'm nudging towards the 70 to 80 side words per minute. I actually did 100 words per minute just earlier in the stream. Okay. All right. So, that's the source for this quote is that's what friends are for. And the quote goes, "For times when we're apart, well, then close your eyes and know these words are coming from my heart. And then if you can remember in good times and bad times, I'll be on your side forevermore." Well, that is friendly. That is a nice friend kind of thing, but that seems to be, I don't know, because maybe I'm just too psychopathic to see the difference. But this seems like a lover's situation, partners for life type of situation more than anything. Not the regular, oh, we're bros, I would die for you, bro. And that is an army thing, actually, that people would actually die for each other. Why? Because they know the other person would die for them too, apparently, because they can trust each other that well. All right. For the times that when we're apart, well, then close your eyes and know these words are coming from my heart. This is a very long one. Close your eyes and know these words are coming from my heart. And then if you remember in good times and bad times, I'll be on your side forevermore. Yeah, this is literally the actual thing, in whether it be in good or bad, you'll stay by my side. They say in weddings, right? That's literally the wedding quote, is it not? I feel like it's the wedding quote, unfortunately. But yeah. It is one of those things. But yeah, that I will end the stream there. I have to now research specifically how I am going to do this scratching of the PCB. Where is the best part to scratch or drill into the PCB? I do have some hobby knives that I can potentially use to do that. Desolder it and see if I can solder them back on. And unfortunately, Kale Hot Swap sockets aren't actually quite as sturdy as Milmax keyboards or Milmax, where it just sits on top of the PCB. So no matter how hard you push it down, unless you break the PCB itself, it is straight up not gonna go loose. So let us see. Oh yeah, so for keyboard content, there will be one more next week. It will depend on the research and the tools I need to see if we are going to actually repair the NK65 or able to repair the NK65. I will see if I can buy an aftermarket unit or at least PCB, as Mint Noises says there. But also, the other one I would do is lubing these actual switches. These are the bronze copper switches. Apparently, I have a lot more than 70. I have about 100 or so. In other words, I can actually put a 65% twice over, so which is probably what we're gonna do. And another lubing stream for next week. So there will be lubed bronze copper switches. That'll take some time. And there is going to be, but unfortunately, it would be tomorrow and after tomorrow would be gaming streams. Tomorrow will be the usual Mario Kart, except of course on Tuesdays this time. Defeating the, what's it called? The Nintendo Staff Ghost, Shroomless. And apparently speedrunners do that really, really easily. I'm having a hard time doing stuff like Calamari Desert and whatnot. So I'll do that. And the day after that, I will be doing, what is it called? I will be doing Owlboy and finishing that up. So if you guys want some quirky voice acting or very unprofessional voice acting, feel free to drop by the stream and check it out. Feel free to roast me if you want to. And that should mostly be it. Let me see who is available. Let's see. Keyboard stuff. Searching for just keyboard. This is past videos. Teha.